Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another Leweston Voices podcast. Today, we're going into a special chapter of Leweston's long history. The school was founded in 1891. Today, we're going back to 2018, though, when Leweston made that leap from an all-girls school, mostly boarding, to a co-educational setting, mostly day. And joining me today are Ben and Ollie, who are two of the students, or maybe we should call them pupils back then, who were part of the first cohort of boys to experience the transition. Now they're both in year 13, working hard towards their A-levels in the summer. And they're here to share their journey, give us an inside perspective on how things changed, adapted, and what they took away from their time at the school. So, Ben and Ollie, welcome.
It's great to be here. I'm excited to talk about it.
So can you take us back then to 2018, your first year at Leweston? What was it like stepping into a school that had only recently gone co-ed?
I think to begin with, it was definitely a different atmosphere, and honestly, I was rather nervous knowing that me and Ollie were one of the first boys in the senior school at a previously all-girls school, with a large impression that all eyes are on you through the teachers and the students. However, even with this impression from day one, teachers and students were welcoming and open to the change.
So yeah, same here. There was obviously that large step up to secondary school from a primary school regardless. But to be dropped into that new situation did seem quite daunting at first. I didn't quite know what to expect, but I remember feeling really supported. There was definitely a sense that we were part of something big here at Leweston and that we were helping to shape that brand new chapter.
It's great that you felt welcomed, and there are also adjustments for the school, I guess. This was before my time, although when I arrived in 2020, we still only had 22 boys at that point. So how did Leweston adapt to make sure that boys felt comfortable and included? Ben?
Leweston definitely adjusted to the introduction of boys. The main thing that stood out for me was the introduction of boys' sports by expanding the range of sports on offer, with rugby and hockey starting when the season commenced. Even with them being mixed gender teams, the adaptation of boys into teams made me feel welcomed and encouraged to take part.
Yeah, they didn't just bring us in and expect us to fit into a system designed for an all-girls school. Through constant checkups, we were able to provide feedback on what was going well at the time. So I remember we had a few meetings with the teachers, head teacher and senior leadership where they asked what they felt was missing.
Amazing. So it's been great to see our boys' teams develop and flourish so impressively over my time here as headmaster. I've enjoyed certainly the introduction of rugby and the successes we've had there in such a short time, and then recently with boys' hockey, with all our boys' hockey teams becoming Dorset champions this year, which is a real achievement. What subject do you study now, and what extracurricular opportunities have you been involved in since joining?
The subjects I'm currently studying are Geography A-level, BTEC Sport and Chemistry A-level. And with a large range of extracurricular activities such as pellet shooting, hockey, rugby and cricket training. Throughout being at Leweston, there has been a greater range of activities through girls and boys, but the introduction of boys ones have made me feel more welcome further again. And has just made it easier to fit in with everyone taking part in sport.
Yeah, and Ollie?
So for my A-levels, I'm studying maths, physics and computer science. Pretty challenging subjects, but I do enjoy all of them. As for extracurricular, however, I've been involved in many of the sports that Leweston offers, participating in mostly hockey, I'd say, whether that's coaching or playing for the teams. I also get quite involved in the technical side of things. For example, when the school puts on our theatre production every year, I help out with the lighting, sound, tech, etc. It's a good example of one of the many opportunities that Leweston has offered me and that I've taken advantage of. Looking at more recent experiences, currently I'm one of the deputy head prefects, and being a senior prefect has been a fantastic experience, and despite the responsibilities that you have to take on, it's a role I would highly recommend.
Excellent, good. And of course, both of you in our recent, or rather last academic year's 10 Tours team, which is a mixed team, both boys and girls competing in an extremely fast time. So looking back now then, what would you feel that you've gained from your time here in terms of character and experience?
It feels like me and Ollie both got a unique experience being the first cohort of boys at Leweston, teaching me how to adapt and welcome different atmospheres compared to previous schools I've been at where girls and boys have been separate so to say. There is a sense of pride knowing that I was part of the change within Leweston, and it has helped make the school today what it is today.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'd say exactly the same. Being part of the transition taught me the value of community here, seeing how everyone came together to actually make this shift work and not rely on us to do it ourselves. It just makes you feel really proud to be a Leweston student.
Excellent. And you are both excellent students. Before we wrap up then, is there any advice that you would give to future students, or any advice that you might have given to your younger selves?
Absolutely. I'd say to embrace it. Don't be afraid to get involved and share your ideas. There are many opportunities here that you won't get anywhere else. So put your all in, try your best, and make the most of your time here.
Good advice. Ben?
And just be patient. It can take time for things to settle in, but eventually you'll find your place. Just be open to change and you'll end up with a really memorable experience. Leweston offers so many opportunities tailored to the individual, and there is really something for everyone, and all your achievements are celebrated.
Well, thank you so much for your comments and discussion this afternoon, Ben and Ollie. It's been fantastic hearing your stories, and I'm sure a lot of people will find your insights really valuable. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.